Hey everyone, and welcome back to Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. On this video, we're doing the quest, The Wandering Clan. Priya asked me to return to Resistance HQ. Talk to Alma at the entry hub in the Resistance headquarters. So, we are fast traveling back to Resistance HQ. Okay, and Alma should be waiting for us just inside.
You're back.
Human Alma. This is new. And who's that back there?
What will the Arana think of us? We are so different from them.
It's Louis.
You can empty a clip into one of those things and it'll just shake it off.
Of course I remember you. It's not every day I rescue an ace pilot.
Hey now, rescue is a strong word. I did help a little. But I've been thinking about what you said before.
Break so often if
finding
people
my
just
own
follow
unique way to help the
instructions.
Resistance. Well, I haven't found it yet. But I try my damnedest every day, and people seem to appreciate it. That's gotta count for something, right? Yeah, I know a thing or two. What of it?
Oh, Louis trying to fit in. Alright, Human Alma, hello.
Alma? We never saw you like this.
I don't leave the link bed much these days. I've grown so used to being one of you.
You look different. But the same.
I'm the same. But you are changing, growing. Every time we meet, you look more Nafi. We heard from the Aranahe. I never thought they would change their minds. And now, we are stronger than we ever were. That came from outside.
Investigate the sounds outside the Resistance headquarters. What's going on?
Is this how you greet the Sarentu after all this time?
I had to see for myself. Not even a flinch this one. Fearless like a Zeswa. Or perhaps just slow.
That depends on if I was the target.
My name is Nassim, Oloiktan of the Zeswa. And no warrior in Pandora can best our spears.
Then you have not seen us fight.
I heard you got those pompous weavers out of their tree. But the Sky People ravage our lands too.
We know them. All too well. I should get Alma.
Speak your own mind, Ritnella.
We have the same enemy. We must fight together. So our envoy will come to you. Just as our people once did.
My sister Minang hunts beneath the celebration arches, warrior. Fly the signal kite like our riders do, and she will answer your call.
Make sure you prepare before you go meet the Zeswatsahi. It is a long journey to the upper plains.
Go to the Celebration Arches. They are north of Stoneblade Ridge, atop Ovation Falls. So if we look at our map, Ovation Falls are here. So we're going to go ahead and fast travel to the Towering Bow.
She seems like a fighter.
Yes, you.
How come she hasn't joined us before?
We had to prove our worth to them as warriors. The Zeswa can ride fast, but they do not like to wait for others. The wind in their grasslands is so sharp it can slice through mountains. It is a fierce land, so the Zeswa must be even fiercer.
It will be different, but we are ready for the challenge.
You must go without about your Ikran. She would not follow you into the grasslands.
Why not?
It is unknown sky to her, too far from her own. You must trust the bond, new as it may be. She will join you once we have learned more of the land and its challenges.
How will I travel then?
You will learn. And when you are ready, the Zeswa ancestors can show you the way. But for now, fly to the waterfall cliffs. There is a cave system that runs all the way up to the plains.
Okay, find the cave that leads to the Celebration Arches. Also, I've got low energy. Let's go ahead and eat some food. We'll go with fruit stuffed mushroom. So, Talisi can't go with me, but she can take me to the entrance. So let's go ahead and summon her in. This is going to be our last flight with her for a while. Hopefully she doesn't get sad in our absence. So let's go north, and we're just going to follow the cliff wall all the way to the falls. And we'll go ahead and fly low. I usually fly above the trees. It'd be nice to be near the forest canopy. Or rather, near the forest floor. We're usually above the canopy. I guess we are near the canopy too, though. We're between. Ooh, and it's heavily polluted over here. Things just got really dreary. Oh, but over here it's nice again. We've made it to the Ovation Falls. But we still gotta find that cave. Oh, Navi Sense is picking something up. We'll worry about that later. Our cave's gonna be up there.
That must be the cliff. There should be a cave. Whoa! I have to go on my own now, but I'll see you soon.
I'll miss you, Talisi. Let's pet her.
I'll miss you, girl.
Petting is still so awkward. We'll catch up, Talisi. Alrighty, so what do we got around here? We got this tree. Wind-bent tree. Flora, a huge tree that has adapted to harsh winds. These trees are one of the defining features of the windswept grasslands biome of the upper plains. Additional info, the wind-bent tree is a giant evergreen that grows with a pronounced lean in the prevailing wind direction. This is possible due to a vast, deep root structure. So, yeah, it is quite windy up here. Let's see, what do we got over here? We got some baskets. You can see our Navi senses are picking up that bell sprig. We'll get that in a moment. Oh, we got a pod fruit, which gave us 2 new entries. Some new stuff. Flora, the berry of the sheltering bush pod. Pod fruit is a staple food of the Zeswa clan, most commonly found inside sheltering bush pods. Rarer pod fruits are often found in the wild purple steppe biome of the upper plains. Best quality is rain. Using a pod fruit as the main cooking ingredient in combination with Sound Blast Colossus fatty meat is rumored to have a special effect. Additional info, the berry of the sheltering bush pod fruit, is a staple food of the Zeswa clan. The mildly sweet pulp is cooked and eaten in many formats and is traditionally used to make teas and cordials. Fruit is the seed-bearing organ of a plant. It grows abundantly on Pandora and is foraged by every known clan. So, pod fruit gives Hardy 2 plus 35% base health. Then we have a sheltering bush pod. Flora, extremely sturdy dome-shaped bushes, which create a natural protection area from harsh winds and predators. Most commonly found across the windswept grasslands biome of the upper plains. Additional info, the sheltering bush pod is a large perennial shrub with bluish leaves that is common to the upper plains. Its branch structure creates a largely hollow space within the plant, which animals, Navi, and even other plants take advantage of to shelter from the elements and predators. Alrighty, let's go pick up that bell sprig. And there's one of these celebration arches right there. Got a bunch of birds up there. I'm surprised they're able to fly in this wind. They must be quite strong. Alright, health permanently increased, and let's go into the cave.
The entrance to the cave.
Climb through the cave to the celebration arches. Oh, Navi Sense is picking something else up. That would be a Tarshu sapling. And that's going to be another skill point, and this is a cool cave. Little waterfalls in here, I like it. Alright, duck through here. Oh, I hit my head, I think. I stood up a little early. The upper plains. We made it!
Raise the signal kite.
Alright, raise the kite at the grazing grounds beneath the celebration arches. Alright, but before we do that, there's new stuff here. What's this? That is a blade head. Wildlife. An herbivore with a heavily armored hide and soft underbelly. Most commonly found across the windswept grasslands biome of the upper plains. Rarer blade heads are often found near sheltering bush pods. Using blade head fatty meat as the main cooking ingredient in combination with a feather blade seed is rumored to have a special effect. Additional info, the Navi name is Kixeoxe. Taxonomy Cunium informibus cerotomorph. Wedge-shaped rhino. Well armored and with few natural predators, the blade head feeds primarily on thick-shelled nuts. Its head and mouth are shaped to maximize its capacity to break the shells, resulting in the mouth being curiously situated above the eyes. Often traveling in packs ranging from 4 to 8 individuals, the blade head has keen sight and hearing, though its olfactory capabilities are relatively modest in comparison. When threatened by large predators or aerial attacks, it lowers itself to the ground where it is protected by its enormous backplate, and its weight and low center of gravity make it almost impossible to tip. The plow-like head is highly efficient in parting even the densest vegetation and can also be applied aggressively. A charging blade head can wreck vehicles and amp suits alike with its considerable body mass. A popular game among Zeswa youths, whose name translates roughly as Stampede, involves two teams charging at one another, running low with shields held over their heads, imitating the blade head's armor. One Zeswa is chosen to be in the middle and must avoid the charge from both sides. Injuries are frequent. A variation of this game is played by adults during the Zeswa's frequently held inter-clan competitions. So, they have blade head horns. Weapon crafting material gives damage in 8% RDA damage. Blade head heavy hide is an arm guard crafting material. Gives health and 3% stealth. And the blade head fatty meat gives bark skin 2. Alright, what else do we have around here? We got dire horses. Nothing new with them. Here's a sheltering bush pod. And what's that over there? It's a little far. Can't quite get it in my senses. Come on. There we go. That is a Sound Blast Colossus. Wildlife, a heavily armored giant herbivore that uses powerful sonic blasts to disorient nearby attackers. Most commonly found across the windswept grasslands biome of the upper plains. Rarer Sound Blast Colossi are often found near sheltering bush pods. Additional info, the Na'vi name is Tixampam. Taxonomy, Sonus magnus mammalia, great sound mammal. A massive and heavily protected creature, the Sound Blast Colossus is easy to spot thanks to its unique sail-like crest. The crest can open, close, and adapt its angle to catch the powerful winds on the plains. These are funneled into a series of internal chambers, which expand and then release the winds explosively, allowing it to produce a wave of intense sound and pressure that is loud enough to disorient or even incapacitate most living things. The Colossus relies heavily on this extraordinary capability, as it is quite slow and does not have any real means of offense. It does, however, have extremely tough skin, and its sheer bulk makes it a challenge to the most tenacious of predators. Mostly solitary, the Colossus will at times graze and travel with a single companion. Especially during these times, it can be observed using its crest, not just for defense, but also a means of communication. An old legend tells the story of a mountain that wished to see the world, so she asked the wind to help her out. The wind whittled down the mountain over many years, shaping it into the first Sound Blast Colossus and setting it free to roam. The Sound Blast Colossus has been best friends with the wind ever since. The Na'vi make shields out of the Colossus's thick hide, as well as fast sleds, or flat sleds, used to drag kills back to camp. So, there is a Sound Blast Colossus bone. It's a spear thrower crafting material. We don't have a spear thrower yet. That gives damage and thundering impact. Spear thrower deals additional damage to enemies close to the impact. Sound Blast Colossus Heavy Hide is an arm guard crafting material that gives health and 2% ranged resistance. And Sound Blast Colossus Fatty Meat gives bark skin 3. So, what else do we have? Let's check the water. What is this? Shaded waterweed. Gave 2 entries. Flora, fibrous water plant that can be used in crafting. Most commonly found in shallow water throughout the upper plains. Rarer shaded waterweed is often found in Tranquility Bulb underneath floating mountains. Best quality is dry. Additional info, the shaded waterweed grows in shallow, still water and favors heavy tree shade. Its flowers are orange-hued, and it is often found growing near snakewood trees. Bast is the tough, flexible fiber gathered from the inner bark of various plant varieties, notably Pandoran water plants. Na'vi use coarse bast to weave into strings, ropes, and hardier textiles. So shaded waterweed bast is a weapon crafting material, gives damage and 8% wildlife damage. Then we have the Tranquility Bulb. Flora, a large bowl-like plant that collects rainwater. Most commonly found in the Pillar Canyon biome of the upper plains. Additional info, the Na'vi name is Specacatu. Taxonomy, Nepenthes leucostrine. Carnivorous plant pool. Tranquility bulbs are large carnivorous plants found on flat grounds across the upper plains. The main body of the plant is a single waxy leaf that grows into a huge bowl shape. This bowl typically fills with rainwater, into which aromatic resin from the plant is dissolved. This perfumed water attracts a variety of insects and creatures who become trapped in the liquid, unable to climb the bowl's smooth sides. Beneath the surface of the water, growing from the base of the bowl, are ribbony tendrils that extend to grasp and ultimately consume the drowning prey. Birds and Na'vi are immune to this trap, the plant seemingly able to discern what has disturbed the water it contains. Tranquility bulbs require relatively flat ground for their leaves to grow and form their distinctive bowl shape. The ground itself can be rocky, muddy, or forest floor. However, they predominantly grow in open spaces. Na'vi are known to use tranquility bulbs as a place to bathe within the upper plains. When in the water, the tendrils underneath investigate and caress the Navi's legs. This action gently exfoliates the Navi's skin, and the plant is then able to consume the dead skin cells as sustenance. As well as recreation, the plant animal's water tank-like structure enable it to be used as a fall cushion from impressive heights. So you can jump into them from up high. That's kind of interesting. Basically like a little jacuzzi. Well, I guess it's not hot, but a little pool. All right, and then I thought I saw something there. Oh, is that just Archer's Thicket? Yeah. Alrighty, so up above we have some baskets. Let's see what's in those. Food basket, we got octofin fish. And a precision grip, heavy bow grip mod. Oh, and I stepped in the fire. Alright, so that might actually be an upgrade. Let's see. 20% blast damage? I don't know about that. I might just keep my precision grip. 6% weak spot damage, yeah. We'll keep what I have. Alright, raise the kite.
Nassim sent me to speak with the Tzahik of the Zeswa.
Then we have found each other. You have been missed. Mina! Deciding to tread the grass again. Let us ride the wind and celebrate by the fire. We will hear your tales like we used to.
Sister, you must give the warrior time to adjust. Breathe our air, feel our earth beneath their feet. Meet the Zakru.
Who is this Zakru?
Our wards and our guardians.
Our home and heart. The home of our people wanders, warrior. It is never in the same place. But we leave kites in its wake. Flying high.
So you always know how to get home?
You already think like a Zeswa.
Now, we will teach you to ride like one.
First, you must find a dire horse. Any will do. Our bond with them is short-lived.
Move slowly, be calm. Then make the bond and get on.
Dire horse soothing. Approach dire horses slowly and carefully. Once in range, you can attempt to soothe one. So bond with the dire horse at the grazing grounds beneath the celebration arches. All right, finally. Been wondering how to do this. All right, that one seems calm. Let's go for this one.
You're okay. Don't worry. That's it. Easy.
Show them they can trust you.
That's it.
You have it. Get on and ride like a Zeswa.
Soothed dire horses can be ridden, but unlike your Ikran, they cannot be called to your location. You can only have one soothed dire horse at a time. All right, let's jump on.
Ride the wind, warrior. Our Zakru friends will be eager to meet you. Find their kites. With the sirens returning, what else is possible?
All right, so we had some things happen there. First off, we were given Minong's ankle guards here. So they have 36 health, 5% elemental resistance, and 2% ranged resistance. And we can throw a mod on those. We have the resistance shin guards, which is 11% firearms damage, which is quite nice. Didn't quite get me to combat strength 9, but we're close. Then we got a design for that. Minong's ankle guards, 25 to 95 health. All you need is a light hide of fine or better quality. Ankle protection for warriors of the upper plains. And then we also got a hunter's guide entry for arrow deer. Wildlife, a herd animal that flees at high speed if it senses nearby danger or sudden movements. Most commonly found amongst the crimson trees biome of the upper plains. Rarer arrow deer are often found near riverbanks amongst the crimson trees biome of the upper plains. The Na'vi name is Winzao. Taxonomy Telem oryx, arrow antelope. Graceful and elegant, the arrow deer is a striking figure on the grasslands. Traveling in small herds of up to 8, it has distinctive sail-like membranes running from the top of its head and down its long neck, which it can expand and retract at will. These membranes sense vibrations in the air and ground, warning it of potential predators. When threatened, the arrow deer will deploy them to maximum, both to ward off enemies by making itself look bigger and also to prepare for escape. The arrow deer prefers to hide in vegetation, feeding on nectar from flowers, but when in danger, it will launch into an explosive sprint. By straightening its body and using its long, flat tail and neck membranes for lift, it shoots across the plains like an arrow, making it the fastest land animal on the western frontier. The Na'vi of the Zeswa clan use the tendons from the arrow deer for their bows, and their colorful skins for drums. A popular tale told to Zeswa children, analogous to the hare and the tortoise from Earth folklore, contrasts an overly hasty arrow deer with a slow, wise Zakru. The moral of the story, that it is better to take one's time than act without thought, is often lost on boisterous Zeswa youths, but it doesn't stop the elders from trying. So, you can get arrow deer light hides. Leg crafting material gives health and 2% ranged resistance. And arrow deer fatty meat is bark skin 2. Alrighty, so follow the kites to the circle, the home of the Zeswa. The trail of kites runs through the Celebration Valley. So our next kites are over there. And we're definitely going to find some new stuff as we explore around. Like this. A feather blade. Oh, that thing's mad at me. Is that an econ? Don't know, it's too far away. Anyways, feather blade. Flora, a plant that reveals its seeds if it comes into contact with pollen from another feather blade. Most commonly found across the windswept grasslands biome of the upper plains. Rarer feather blades are often found in the wild purple steppe biome of the upper plains. Best quality is dry. The Na'vi name is Yarwil. Taxonomy Plumus arbor, feathered tree. The feather blade is uniquely adapted to the blustery conditions of the upper plains. A few tall, tough leaves grow facing prevailing winds. Their frayed edges and heavy striations have evolved to channel the breeze around the plant without snapping the leaves or stems. These act as windbreaks for the core of the plant, including its seed pods and a great profusion of long, feathery stamens. In drier weather conditions, these stamens constantly disperse the plant's sticky pollen. The feather blade favors open, sunny areas and is partially dependent on zoophilous pollination. Pollen being carried by animals such as dire horses and arrow deer against prevailing wind currents in order to reach plants upwind. The Na'vi have several uses for the feather blade. Its leaves make impromptu windbreaks for starting fires, and the long stamens, when properly dried, make easily lit, sweet-smelling kindling. The feather blade seed is also edible to the Na'vi, a large and starchy nut with several cooking applications. The feather blade benefits from the Na'vi's interest in the plant. Na'vi foragers have learned that it is far easier to harvest the seed from a newly pollinated feather blade and will happily carry the sticky pollen on their mount or on their body or mount from one plant to another. Feather blade seed. The feather blade seed is a tall, pointed nut encased in papery, somewhat blistered skin. It is edible and extremely palatable to the Na'vi, who use the large and starchy nut in several cooking applications. The seed is the embryo of a plant, which is dispersed by various means to propagate the species. Seeds have a variety of practical and cultural uses to the Na'vi and are frequently gathered as staple foods. So, feather blade seed is a cooking ingredient, unknown effect. So in order to harvest that, we would need to take the pollen from one to another, which I don't see another nearby, so we'll just keep moving. And we've got some arrow deer there. Let's see if they're as fast as they say. Weren't too fast there, but they might not be properly spooked. What's this? Sparkle Pod. Flora, a plant containing a sac of glittery spores, which is prone to burst when approached. Most commonly found across the windswept grasslands biome of the upper plains. Additional info: sparkle pods are fungi found in the upper plains of the western frontier. From the root base grows a sturdy stem, which is crowned with a fruiting puffball head. The stem elevates this spore-filled sac above the ground, out of reach of crawling insects and parasites. The sparkle pod is named for the unusual spores they produce, which appear almost metallically reflective and colorful. This is due to the layered microscopic structure of the spores, which refracts light to create iridescence. When approached, the sparkle pod bursts their puffball head, showering the area in dazzling spores that create a unique sparkling haze. This eruption serves a dual function. It spreads their seeds and propagates the species, and scares away larger animals which might trample the root base. Sparkle pods grow in small clusters throughout the upper plains, their proximity aiding seed propagation. Visiting sparkle pods is a favorite activity for many Na'vi children who live in the upper plains. These children run through the clusters, coating themselves in the glittering purple hue. The frequency of children visiting these plants has directly contributed to their abundance in the region, as their spores are spread far and wide. So the kids are making these things pop up everywhere. All right, and we also have something new here. A cloud spitter. Flora, a plant that will launch its seeds away when any creature approaches. Most commonly found across the windswept grasslands biome of the upper plains. Rarer cloud spitter seeds are often found around the weeping steppes of the upper plains. Best quality is dry. Additional info: the Na'vi name is Hiepwopks. Taxonomy: Ecbalium bulbus, exploding cucumber bulb. The cloud spitter likes to grow on grasslands and thrives when buffeted by strong winds, away from areas of shade and tree cover. Most of the cloud spitter's mass is held in a single bulbous flower, which grows slumped in the direction of the prevailing breeze. Within this flower matures a pointed seed pod, which emerges from the top of the tightly closed flower when ripe. In this fruiting state, the cloud spitter's roots and body are highly sensitive to movement and contact. When disturbed, the cloud spitter's flower explodes, and its highly elastic cell walls catapult seed pods in a long, high arc, leaving a cloudy trail of floating on the breeze. That is a weird sentence. All right. Anyways, moving on. This dramatic example of ballistic seed dispersal gives the cloud spitter its name. Thriving on the windswept plains of the veldt, cloud spitters are often found in long grass. Sunshine is required to ripen its fruit and develop its distinctive flower pod. The seed of the cloud spitter is a staple food of the Na'vi that inhabit the upper plains, and wise harvesters can predict where ejected seeds can be found and easily gathered. Young Na'vi children make a game of trying to sneak close to a cloud spitter without triggering an ejection, and then chasing the flying seed when they inevitably fail. Tribe elders encourage this game as they consider it a good introduction to hunting skills for their young. The cloud spitter seed, the seed of the explosive cloud spitter, is encased in a nodular armored shell. It is well adapted to survive a tough landing after being ejected from its parent plant. The seed of the cloud spitter is a staple food of the Na'vi that inhabit the upper plains. So cloud spitter seed has an unknown effect in cooking. Let's get one. So get close to it. And it shoots over here. Nope. Thought that was the spot. There we go. Pristine and dry. But it didn't matter. Still fine. Alright, where's our kites? Over there. Let's keep going.
Elan, the Zeswatsahik taught me to ride a dire horse.
No way! Did you name them already?
It's a little different. Bonding with them is only temporary.
Oh, well, it's still pretty cool, though. How does it feel riding one?
Strong, powerful, but they don't turn like an Ikran does.
Guess they don't fly as well either.
No, but they make crossing these plains a lot faster. It's all so vast and open here. So different.
Alright, keep following the kites. We've got these little, like, I don't know what those are. They almost look like frogs jumping around. I don't think they're frogs, though. I don't know what they are. Oh, look at that. We got some cloaked panthers. At least I think that's what they were called. Let's see. What's the scent trail say? Oh, hey, used the sound blast. Wow, that seemed effective. Did he just take that panther out? Yep, cloaked panthers. I think he just straight up dropped that one. Anyways, let's keep going.
Beyond the sky. If my Ikram does not go, I do not want to go.
Hey, some Zeswa. Hey there.
Always good to see a friendly face. Hello.
Man, those things are so loud. Oh, that panther's still messing with it.
Last night I dreamed. In my dream, I said to myself, if danger comes from the sky, maybe the solution is in the clouds. So if a fruit falls from the tree and breaks your leg, you expect that tree to heal you. No. But maybe I can use its branch to set my bones straight.
I thought those guys were supposed to be slow because he is moving. Anyways, let's go. So our next kites are over there. I think we have to kind of swing around. Oh, and what's this? Rain thistle. Flora, a hardy flower that only blooms in rainy weather, most commonly found on cliffs throughout the upper plains. Rarer rain thistles are often found at the top of the Great Tusk in the southeast of the upper plains. Best quality is day. Additional info: the rain thistle is one of a family of plants that grow across the western frontier of Pandora, closely related to the fog bloom and the sailfin blossom. Although they share numerous traits, they are readily distinguishable from each other, each plant uniquely adapted to its preferred climate. The rain thistle grows from a spray of thin-bladed leaves at its base, from which a handful of tall, tough stems grow. These stems are covered in more brightly colored, frill-edged leaves, which can help channel water to the base of the plant. One of these stems is typically crowned with a flower of spiky and unusually hard-skinned petals. During rainstorms, this thistle-like flower opens to reveal a soft, fibrous bowl within. This is a seed pod surrounded by strong, absorbent fibers. The opening action promotes pollination in ideally wet conditions and allows the plant to absorb and store water in its fibers. This water storage mechanism helps the plant thrive in typically rocky growing mediums, without moist soil. The rain thistle grows across the upper plains and favors flat, rocky terrain at altitude. They are frequently found at the top of mountains and floating rocks. The rain thistle and its relatives are of great practical value to the Na'vi of the western frontier. The fibers they produce are used in a lot of Na'vi weaving. The strong and absorbent fibers are expertly spun into yarns and woven into a variety of mixed fabrics, where its absorbent quality is frequently used to aid dyeing of other materials. The fabric of purely woven rain thistle fiber is soft and light, traditionally used to make wrapped garments and loincloths. Rain thistle fiber. Rain thistle fiber is the bowl of the rain thistle. It is a fluffy and absorbent fiber which the plant uses to store water within its thistle head. The fibers themselves have a slightly waxy quality where the bowl touches the plant's bracts. Fiber is a substance that grows in long threads or strands. The Na'vi gather many different plants for their various fibers, which they use in weaving and other crafts, depending on their properties. So rain thistle fiber is for waste crafting. It gives health and 2% ranged resistance. Oh, we got some more feather blades there. Let's keep going. Alright, next kite's this way. We got some more Na'vi.
She's really curious about us.
Huh? Animal visitor.
I just have to speak calmly. Yes, truth is always loud enough. Are you saddened too? I cannot wait to tell my sister. Here, I do not like to use them, but sometimes you have to, and you are running low.
Sulfur pod, acrid pod, acrid pod. Nice, thanks, buddy. All right, so what's this over here? We've got a geyser object, a geyser that is fueled by natural gas. It erupts in certain intervals, and you can use that to get launched. And there's one of those tranquility bulbs. Those are a lot bigger than I thought they'd be. Oh, let's see how high this takes me. Whoa! That was gonna hurt. Ooh. Well, we learned the hard way. What's this? Canyon reed. Flora, a flexible and moist reed. Most commonly found in water in the Pillar Canyon biome of the Upper Plains. Rarer canyon reeds are often found around the Stone Forest Stream, behind the Great Tusk, in the east of the Upper Plains. Best quality is day. Canyon reed has adapted to grow in the shallow running water of the Upper Plains' narrow canyons. Water drunk through the reed is reported to have a slightly sweet and tart flavor. Reed is the name given to several grass species, which are tall growing and have long, hollow stems. Reed can be woven into cordage and other materials for use in crafting. So it's for weapon crafting. It gives damage and 8% stealth damage. All right. Oh, I'm ducking. I didn't realize. Okay, let's keep going. Our kites are this way. Oh, Bladehead, I'm a friend. Just passing through. All right, kites this way. Oh, did I run something over?
Welcome. I see if I promise to reveal my secret to winning, then people come with a new appetite to learn. Greetings. You are among friends here.
Why, thank you.
Everyone wants to train better, make their bodies stronger. Your bodies are strong. All of you. This is not what will earn you the victory. The difference is in the mind. To keep it sharp, despite the fear, despite the competition, the noise. To train your mind and your heart to see yourself win. That is what makes the difference between a champion and the rest of you.
Okay, let's keep going. So, up the hill. Look at those red trees. Oh, saw a skunk palm there. All right, so let's check out the tree. Blood leaf tree. Flora. This tree's size and its dense crowns made from dark red leaves make them natural landmarks. These trees are one of the defining features of the Crimson Trees biome of the Upper Plains. Additional info: the bloodleaf tree grows prodigiously in the Upper Plains. Its red leaves have adapted to better photosynthesize light while agitated by the wind. And what is that? Bloodleaf bark. Oh, 2 entries for that. Oh, never mind. Just 1. Bloodleaf bark. Flora, the abrasive knotty gall of the bloodleaf tree. Most commonly found on bloodleaf trees. Rarer bloodleaf bark is often found amongst the Crimson Trees biome near the Celebration Arches of the Upper Plains. Best quality is night. Additional info: the knotty gall of the bloodleaf tree possesses an abrasive fibrous surface and sticky crimson sap. Bark is the tough outer coating of plant stems, roots, and trunks. The Na'vi have learned to gather bark galls, knotty swellings on the plant surface caused by natural damage. This gathering helps heal the tree, and the bark is used to craft a variety of Na'vi gear. So this is using gear crafting. It gives health and 5% elemental resistance. Alright, I don't see anything else on these trees. So, let's keep going. Oh, Cloaked Panther after that arrow deer. They are so fast. Na'vi sense is picking up something else, but we're just going to keep going. I would like to get to the circle. Oh, 2 things. Tempting, but we keep going.
That's it. I found it.
Explore the circle. Oh, this looks cool. Alright, we'll leave our dire horse outside.
The plains do not play favorites.
What's that up there? Some decoration. And look at this giant animal here.
Lewin must learn to relax. There is no reason to hurry like that.
Poor child. I do not think his uncle realizes how much he asks of him.
Fayu has always been fast on Izikran. Too fast to listen.
Alright, so that's a Zakru. You can see another one over there. Wildlife, a gentle giant, valued by the Zeswa for their milk and shelter. Lives in harmony with the Na'vi of the Zeswa clan in the Upper Plains. Additional info: the Zakru is the Western Frontier's largest megafauna. Akin to the Earth's elephant, the Zakru has a prehensile trunk that it uses for feeding, though in its own unique way. Between the back legs of the Zakru is a long, wide tail that serves as the endpoint of its digestive system, somewhat like that of a worm. A frilled, bony crest protects the front of its face, and large horns curve around the eye sockets. The soles of a Zakru foot are cushioned by strong, spongy fat deposits, capable of carrying the Zakru's great weight for many miles. Zakru are fungivores, with no natural predators. They feed on colonies of microorganisms found beneath the soil. When such a colony is detected, the animal lays down and buries its tail and trunk deep into the ground. The creature's tongue then unfurls, branching into long tubes which burrow deeply away from the Zakru. Then, entering a state of torpor, the Zakru draws the fungi in, extracts the nutrients, and excretes the waste from its tail back into the soil, facilitating future fungal growth. This feeding torpor state can last for weeks or months before a fungal colony is consumed. Then the Zakru wakes and moves on. A migratory herd animal, Zakru live and travel in groups, most followed at all times by Navi of the Zeswa clan. Occasional smaller groups and sometimes even lone Zakru can be spotted on the plains, moving from feeding ground to feeding ground. Zakru live long lives, so their relationship with the Zeswa can span multiple generations. The clan lives in complete symbiosis with the Zakru, making food from the Zakru milk and finding warmth and shelter in the shade of these resting creatures. The Zakru are deeply empathic creatures who can sense the presence of danger near the clan, as well as changes in their moods. When the Zeswa grieve, so too do the Zakru. And when they celebrate, the animals sleep content. So yeah, a bunch of Zakru here at the circle. Investigate the commotion by the common space in the circle.
Yes, fluid like the river. They complement each other even as they compete. Oh, to be that young again. To bend like a sapling. Excellent. Your best brawl by far.
Talk to the cheerful Navi. He is waiting in the circle by the common space.
Always complain when I try to make it fun. Do they ever get hurt?
Our people have hot heads and warmer hearts. When the Zakru walk, we follow.
And when they rest?
We let the ground learn our feet as we dance, the air our voices as we laugh and sing.
Grab food for Ikran.
The air
Get
is
arrows,
clear. I wish I was as strong and fierce as your people.
Then you need to drink more Zakru milk. We boil it, curd it with thistles into fresh cheese, and leave it to cure with savory dry leaves. And with the way we brew Zanke, the fire that brightens our celebrations. The legend says Zakru are stones made into beasts. Ever since the first Zakru offered us shelter, we have had music, joy, and merry. I have a surprise for you. But we need a gourd of fresh Zakru milk. Akurai should have one. There is something I must do across the stream. It is part of the surprise. Take your time to walk around and meet the Zeswa. Our fearless riders are famous even beyond the grasslands. And there is someone in the nursery eager to meet you.
All right, find Akare at the dairy camp in the circle. We also have optional objectives. Meet the dire horse rider at the Pali grounds in the circle, and visit the nursery in the circle. All right, so it looks like we have a stash there. We do.
You seem at home with our clan, warrior.
Why, thank you.
I am a proper hunter.
All right, so we've got a crafting station. We've got another stash. Cooking station there.
Do not tell her I said this. But Woai's curds are much too crumbly.
young Zakru may not so easily.
All right, this is where we came in. Let's go over here. Looks like we've got a basket. Zeswa Rider Strap chest guard mod.
I just want to see the clans compete together again.
Let's see if that's any good. Ooh, 13% weak spot damage. Compared to 13% RDA damage is good. Ooh, that's a tough one. I think I'm going to stick with the RDA damage. But if I'm hunting, we'll go with this. All right, so this is the dire horse rider.
Oh, my feet. That dire horse just kept running from me.
Your dire horse looks so powerful.
Yo, you speak like the sky people. All creatures are like property to them. But she doesn't belong to anyone.
I know. They are free.
As free as we are. And each is unique, like you or me. This one enjoys the company of Zakru. She finds their calm soothing. Do you ride?
I've been practicing.
If you want to learn our ways, you must master it. Dire horses are everything to my people. They help us carry our tents. We hunt with them. We fight with them and charge as one. Our bellowing war cries echoing in the plains, shrinking the hearts of our enemies. Don't worry, Sarentu. Those are just stories. How it was in the times when such things were needed.
Those times may return soon.
If they do, we will be ready. She and I both.
All right, anything else around here? Does not look like it. All right, so let's find that nursery. Oh, is that a basket? Yeah, we got a basket there. Chunky meat stir fry. And that is new. Let's take a look at it.
The arches are magnificent, of course.
The seeds have been fried in the fat from the roughly cut meat chunks. Salty, crunchy, delicious. Gives bark skin 1 for 18 minutes.
Am I late again?
All right, what's that? Changing place for appearance. We haven't actually seen one of those for a while. Maybe we'll do some appearance changes. We have another basket here. A Coronis egg.
I like
And we
a
got
good challenge, but they just take it so seriously.
Alrighty, so Coronis nest. We've seen Coronis, but not their nest. Wildlife, the nest of a flying creature, most commonly found on wind-bent trees. Rarer Coronis nests are often found on the first Zakru in the upper plains. Best quality is dry. A nest for the Coronis. Coronis egg. The Coronis lays its eggs and nests it builds around the weeping steppes. An orange-red, teardrop-shaped egg with yellow striations. The colors of the Coronis egg are also found on the creature's wings. Eggs are the fertilized embryos of reptiles, insects, and other animals that gestate outside of the body in a protective, organic vessel. Most Navi clans forage eggs primarily for food, ensuring they take only one egg from a nest so that the species may still thrive. Coronis egg gives blast resistance 2. Oh, baby Zakru.
Is she asleep?
Mm-hmm. Her name is Ko Akte. She does as the grown-ups do.
You have built your home around them. They must be deep sleepers.
They don't just sleep, but feed. But one day they will wake up and leave, to look for fresh soil. When they do, we will follow.
You are travelers. Like my people. Like they used to be.
I've only heard stories about the Sarentu. My mother said when she taught one how to comb a Zakru's mane. But he tripped and fell into the milk vat. But every time they visited, they would raise the celebration kites. And everyone would gather, dance fight, drink zanke. Your clan was loved. And now, you are here. We will celebrate again.
Alright, I thought I saw a basket. I did.
There is wisdom of the mind, but also wisdom of the body.
Lean meat skewer.
It is good to be fast and strong, but intelligence is more important than both.
What is that? Another basket. They're all over the place. Let's see. I think my food might be full. Yeah, let's just go ahead and eat this lean meat skewer. Alright, so Akare should be over here.
The Sarentu, visitor. Gossip precedes you.
I hope it's good gossip.
Just that you are a warrior in the making. Alas, nothing juicy.
I've met Kin. He asked me to find milk.
Ah, Kin. His jokes used to be the joy of the clan. But he has not been the same since Sosul left. Here, fresh milk, graciously shared with us by the Zakru, the foundation of our strength.
Who is Sosul?
Kin's Zanke drinking partner. Have you not heard? He became the burden carrier. He left the clan, forever, carrying that dreadful weight on his back.
That must have been very difficult. To leave everyone you love behind.
'Tis a sad honor. But he took our burdens away, so we travel light. Thanks to Sosul, when the Zakru walk, we can follow. This batch is for little Ko-Akte.
Alright, so we got some fresh Zakru milk and cheesy Sahena. We also got some entries in our hunter's guide. So we have Zakru milk. Wildlife, milk from the giant Zakru of the upper plains, gathered by their respected dairy masters, crafted by a Zeswa artisan. Using Zakru milk as the main cooking ingredient in combination with a fire seed is rumored to have a special effect. Additional info, the rich milk of the giant Zakru of the upper plains, gathered by their respected dairy masters. Zakru milk is the essential component of Zeswa cheeses, as well as their traditional drink, Zanke. So that gives Fighters Boon 2, deal plus 40% damage against RDA. Not bad. Then we have Fiery Herbs. Flora, herbs with a powerful taste, crafted by a Zeswa artisan. Additional info, these herbs have a kick to them, and will impart any food with a degree of fire to it. Navi sometimes chew these to focus or to distract themselves from pain or distress. And that gives an unknown benefit. Alright, then we also got a recipe for cheesy Sahena. Fleet-footed and Fighter's Boon 2 on that. It's Zakru milk of fine quality and fiery herbs. With cheese and herbs filling the dough buns that are steamed to perfection, this is a dish to remember. Alright, and then there was also a basket. Let's go get that. feather blade seed. Nice.
I hoped the crew liked those wraps. I should ask him.
All right, so we need to meet Ken across the stream north of the circle.
Fell during that last climb we did.
Yet here you are, safe, and not a scratch on you.
True, and the view was impressive, I have to admit. I only worry we may be getting a little ambitious.
All right, so you can see there's a Zakru over there.
Why would she say such a thing? She cannot keep her emotions inside. Not the first time.
Not sure who was talking there. But anyways, there's a Zakru over there by itself. That's where we're headed.
Wow, is that the mark of the Sarentu? Come closer. Let me have a look at you. Ah, lucky you met me. I discovered this place cradles something very useful. Go. Your sore muscles can thank me later.
Okay. So it looks like we have some Coronas flying around. They seem to be much more common here in the upper plains. What's that I hear scurrying around? I don't know what I'm hearing, but it sounds fast. What's that? Oh, some sort of... Oh, it's a pod. Oh, I think I'm hearing these little things. Yeah, I don't think you can scan these. Nope, too tiny. That is Pasuk, if I'm saying that correct. A Pasuk. Young and adventurous, Pasuk prefers to feed away from his herd. Oh, and Navi sense is picking something up.
Ah, the milk. Just in time for your surprise. Go, pour it.
What's his name?
Pasuk. It means berry. Like these. He likes them best.
Possum. It doesn't look very tasty.
They are not for eating. They make him feel beautiful. Here. Oh. He woke up just for you. You are friends now. In Zakro, never forget a friend.
That? It means the sisters are back. Let us feast on cheese and zanke. We will toast on the return of Sarentu. But someone must raise the celebration kites. It is an honor your people used to enjoy. That will give everyone the signal.
Alright, our quest is complete, and a whole bunch of stuff happened. So, let's first look at our completed quest. The Wandering Clan. Priya asked me to return to Resistance HQ. While I was there, the Resistance received an unexpected visitor, Nassim, the Zeswa Oro Ektan. She wants our help fighting the RDA. Nassim asked me to travel to the Upper Plains to find her sister, Minang, the Zeswa Sahik. In the plains, Minang taught me how to bond with a dire horse, so I could travel to the Zeswa's wandering camp known as the Circle. Ken, the master of Zakru Dairy, showed me their home. Together we made paint for one of the Zakru, Pasuk, who woke up when I touched his tusk. Ken said that was a sign of enduring friendship. Alright, and then we got a bunch of entries in the journal. So, let's start in world knowledge. Upper Plains knowledge. Zeswa. Proud, boisterous, and loving. The Zeswa Sapyu, more often known simply as the Zeswa, talk loudly, feel strongly, and play fiercely. It is a clan of fearless dire horse riders, renowned for their warlike competitions and over-the-top celebrations. They live with gigantic, empathic animals called Zakru. The clan is led by their fierce Olo Ektan Nassim, and her even fiercer sister Minang, the clan Sahik. Celebration Arches, a colossal archway that leads travelers towards the lands of the Zeswa. To the clan, it is a place for welcoming friends. The Circle, this is the wandering home of the Zeswa clan, where tents are built around the torpid Zakru while they feed. Colorful soaring kites mark its location in the far-stretching grasslands. Cliff murals. Bright and colorful artworks decorate the cliff faces of the Upper Plains, painted with ground pigments bound with Zakru milk. Their purposes are as varied as the personality of their artists. Some function as signal paths, while others celebrate legends or important moments in the life of the clan. Zakru culture. The Zeswa live in symbiosis with the Zakru, elephantine, migratory animals who feed on underground microorganisms. During their seasonal torpor, the clan sets camp around their gigantic sleeping bodies, which provide warmth and shelter from the relentless wind of the grasslands. When the Zakru migrate in search of fresh grounds, the Zeswa pack up all their belongings and follow the animals to wherever they might lead them. The Zeswa protect and care for the Zakru. In exchange, the Zakru provide their milk and wool to weave tents and garments. Alrighty, then we have a bunch of new characters in the Zeswa clan. We have Kin, the Zeswa Master Dairy Crafter. Kin is the Garrulus Dairy Master of the Zeswa and welcomes all, including the Sadentu, with a drink of Zonke and stories of the clan and the Upper Plains. As a Zeswa elder, Kin acts as an advisor to the tempestuous sisters and clan leaders, Minang and Nassim. He is also close friends with Sosur, the burden carrier, who lives apart from the clan. Minang, Sahik of the Zeswa. Minang, the Sahik of the Zeswa, forges deep spiritual connections with the animals of the Upper Plains. As a cunning strategist and natural observer, she hopes the resistance will help them find the Sky People's weakness. Nassim, Olo Ektan of the Zeswa. The charismatic and vivacious Olo Ektan of the Zeswa. Nassim has always been a forceful and instinctual warrior. The Sky People invading the Upper Plains are apt to bring out her more impulsive side with their atrocities, and the Sadentu's arrival has in itself brought new momentum to her drive. It is her sister Minang's prudence that keeps her and the clan in balance. Pasuk, Zakru. Young Pasuk is adventurous for Zakru and feeds at a spot away from the rest of the herd. Even there, he is groomed and painted by the Zeswa, celebrated with decorations derived from the berry he is named after. He is the first of his kind to have greeted the newly returned Sadentu. Akarai, Zeswa Dairy Crafter. As a crafter of dairy, Akarai's work takes place at the very heart of the clan, where she overhears everything there is to know and tell. She is a treasurer of private stories and does her best to stay on the good side of hunters and scouts to hear the gossip from afar. Crafting delicate cheeses and drinks from their journeys, She is usually the first to hear the latest from the bordering clans. Thus, she is the primary source of news for the Zeswa, but also the main originator of rumors, true or untrue, which bestow her with a special kind of power she doesn't always know how to control. Kormong, Zeswa direhorse rider. At an early age, Kormong took after her mother, a brave hunter who was known for her prowess on a direhorse. Tragically, her mother died on a hunt when she was young, but Kormong still feels that she is near when she rides. While Kormong admires the skill and care of those who tend to the Zakru, she finds them too slow for her taste, and in turn, she feels like a bad member of her clan. As such, she finds any excuse to travel on her own. Friends with Tamu since childhood, he helps Kormong deal with tasks within the clan, and Kormong stands up for Tamu when he's uncomfortable standing up for himself. Tamu, Zeswa Zakru caretaker. Tamu was born on the same day as one of his clan's Zakru, a good omen in the Zeswa culture. He grew up alongside the Zakru who shared his birthday and naturally took to tending and caretaking of Zakru at large. While he takes great comfort in spending time grooming, cleaning, and otherwise spending time around the giant beasts, he equally loves having someone to talk to. In the absence of other Navi around, he will often talk to the animals. When especially lonely, he answers himself on the Zakru's behalf in a deep, fake voice. Some of Tamu's closest friends refer to him as the smallest Zakru. Tukru, Zeswa Zakru caretaker. Tukru's most cherished memories are of growing up among the painters of Zakru, playing war paint with other kids, throwing fistfuls of powdered pigments to each other among the looming masses of the sleeping beasts. To him, the Zakru felt like mountains. It was as though his mock fights with the other children were set among valleys, ravines, and tall cliffs that ended up adorned by the colorful patterns imprinted by their projectiles. He found in the creativity of those early games his calling, and in their rambunctiousness, he developed his character. Fond of Zanke, wrestling in the most rowdy of celebrations in the Circle, the Zeswa clan's home, Tukru lives and breathes partying whenever he is not painting. Yarun, Zeswa direhorse rider. Feeling her life is nearing its end, Yarun has left her clan behind, searching for her final resting place in the wilderness in accordance to the traditions. A formidable warrior and hunter in life, now living beyond a symbolic death. Yarun sees her last adventure in the poetic light of the folk tales of her people. In these stories, a cast of venerable hunters cruise the distant grasslands, chasing the primordial wind from which the Zakru originated. Niwin, Zeswa direhorse rider. Apprentice of Fayu, the whimsical adventurer, Niwin struggles to keep up not due to inability or lack of skill, but the lack of experience combined with his mentor's unpredictability. Niwin is in fact a skilled Iklan rider and a reliable scout. While he is persistent in his efforts, he is often prone to overlooking important matters in his rush, which causes all kinds of trouble. Fayu, Zeswa direhorse rider. Unlike other Zeswa direhorse riders, Fayu prefers to get around on his Ikran, Anara. He has a deeply seated distrust for the direhorse due to a childhood accident. Since then, Fayu has found a remedy to his insecurities and the thrill of adventure, where accomplishing increasingly dangerous feats enhances his sense of control. On the other hand, he has discouraged his daughter from pursuing her dreams of becoming a rider. When he is not at the heart of the party, Fayu tends to vanish without notice, only to come back telling tall tales of exhilarating danger in his loud and boisterous manner. Hom, traveler. Raised in the Kametiri clan as a herbalist, in her youth, Hom traveled to the upper plains to compete in the inter-clan games. Fascinated with the endless excitement of the Zeswa, Hom decided to stay. She became a brewer of Zanke, and soon her experimental blends became quite popular. Decades later, she feels at home among her new clan, which she finds warm and welcoming, if a bit too loud. Every time the clan sets camp in a new location, Hom sets up one for herself in a solitary place, from which she can contemplate the mushroom-shaped rocks that remind her of her original home. Akru, Zeswa kite builder. The proud and jaunty master of kites, Akru oversees kite construction as well as the creation of Zeswa tents. An artist of the ephemeral, Akru must see these creations built and undone over and over as the Zeswa clan follows the unpredictable migrations of the Zakru. As a perfectionist, Akru insists on realizing every detail with great care, and as a result feels some sadness at the loss of these works time and again. Akru is often keen to share quality materials with those who have a similar thirst for artistic knowledge. Solali, Zeswa dire horse rider. Solali grew up listening to her grandma's heroic tales with her sister, but unlike Wowai, she focused on Yadun's recounting of the great interclan games of old. The playful nature of these warlike celebrations of athletic power and competition was inspiring for Solali, and she has worked hard to become the best athlete in the clan. She hopes to one day be a victor like her grandmother, and now that the Saden too have returned, Solali hopes the great games will return too. She is extremely knowledgeable when it comes to weapons. Nokape, Zeswa dairy crafter. Nokape, the crafter, grew up in a large, loud family. The youngest of many siblings, she came to relish moments of peace and quiet, annoyed by the chaos around her. She learned to cut through the loudness with anger, and had frequent fights with her father, Tukru. She was closest with her brother Sosul, whose more poetic inclinations she found soothing. When Sosul decided to take the burden and leave the clan, Nokape was deeply disappointed and isolated herself from her family, keeping a close tie only with her niece, Wowai. Tukari, Zeswa dire horse rider. Tukari is a smug athlete and self-proclaimed champion of dance fighting, the wrestling-like competition of the Zeswa clan. Something of a show-off, she has found it difficult to get herself noticed as a fighter due to being a child of a family of crafters and a younger sibling of Karmongs. She has a close but competitive friendship with Solali. Fazak, Zeswa Zakru caretaker. Fazak was once a kite maker, a craft she practiced with her mate. However, when her mate was killed in a skirmish with the RDA, Fazak left the craft and never looked back. Afterwards, Fazak became a caretaker of the Zakru, but she never fully moved on from the death of her beloved partner. Noveo, Zeswa cook. Noveo is the kind of creative who is useless at just about anything else. He can come up with the most startlingly inventive dishes, but he ruins as many as he creates and has no filter to tell if something is good or not. He takes other supplies without asking, never cleans his pots, and infuriates everyone around him with his thoughtlessness. But everyone has to admit that when he succeeds, he makes the best food they've ever tasted. While flighty, he is willing to share his recipes with those who show an interest in cooking. And finally, we have Wowai, Zeswa dairy crafter. Wowai was always a curious child who cherished her grandma's stories of adventure and dreamed of seeing the furthest reaches of the grasslands. But, due to his own traumas, her father has tried to keep her away from the dire horse and closer to the protective Zakru. Seeing Wowai grow bored with the repetitive tasks of Zakru care, her grandfather Ken took her under his wing and taught her dairy craft, a more creative activity. But though the art of dairy was meant as a compromise between her interests and her father's wishes, Wowai remains unconvinced. Alright, and with that, we're all caught up on the new information. So, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up right here. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.